Hello, everybody. Hello, friends. Welcome to Eating Peace today. Wow. So, one question I frequently get is I know the work of Byron Katie. I understand self inquiry. I know what it means to ask, is it true? And identify what I'm thinking. And I know I want to change the story. But when it comes to this eating thing, the compulsiveness around eating, the intense urge that seems to overtake me. It's like I'm going into zombie mode. It's like something has cast a spell over me. I know I'm disturbed. I know I'm uncomfortable, but I don't know what I'm thinking. I don't know to identify the thoughts there. It's impossible to tell. It's the same repetitive thing every time. I just feel incredibly overwhelmed with the urge to eat, gripping, overwhelming urge to eat. Or I begin battling, you should be eating. No, you shouldn't. Just go get it. Doesn't matter. Yes, it does matter. You just said you weren't going to do it. Battle, 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 war. Okay, here's the simple way to begin to work with that. Everyone feels incredibly disturbed, when we begin this journey. And in the midway and partway through, there's disturbance that happens. The very, very first step is to say, it's okay that it's here. Because it's like hearing a disturbing noise or seeing a scene that was very, very difficult to see, or some kind of, something that you don't like that caused fear inside. And then the thought, I need to shut this down. I need to get away from it. I need to shut this down. And aggression against this thing that has been frightening or disturbing. I'm against my emotions. I'm against the disturbance. I hate this. I don't want to feel it. I can't stand that I'm feeling it again. The mind is racing. It's unbelievably fast. It's faster than we could ever speak. So just that first step, noticing something has been burning, something has been on fire, something has felt very painful. You have felt hurt. You've been triggered. You're frightened at the core. There's a panic with that frenzy of wanting to go eat, isn't there? There's a panic feeling. And then it becomes just a habit. It's panic gets associated with eating because they meld together. When the band-aid is eating, when you get a cut, go get a band-aid. But first, just welcome the disturbance, welcome the difficulty, welcome the trouble, that this is what's going on. Just relax and open your hands towards this feeling of heartbreak, discomfort. I'm troubled right now. I'm troubled. There's an awareness of being troubled that we miss easily, seeing that there's one that can watch and observe that there is a troubled being here running within me. There's something that can see, oh, you're upset. You're getting overwhelmed with the craving. You believe you need to eat. There's something there. It's the term, a stimulus and a response. It's as if there is zero gap between them. And we just go. Difficult emotional occurrence within. Something happens in the world. We have an emotional response to it. And it is Velcroed to eating. You eat when you're sad. You eat when you're frightened. You eat when you're lonely. Sometimes people can even begin to feel like they eat when they're happy. Any strong emotion, time to eat. I remember feeling that way. Okay, it's like just something is it wants to settle down, settle down. And that's funny that a downward movement in the body is eating. You enter the food up here and it goes down, down, down into the center of your body, which is also where feelings are felt, all through the heart and through the stomach and through the middle of the body. Okay. So simply asking this question, whatever feeling you can identify, can you give it a name? Fear, sadness, hurt, despair. And for the sake of simplicity, and so often, this is what it was for me, what are you afraid of? What just frightened you? What are you afraid of about the moment, the present moment? What's scary? Was it a memory that came through your mind? Did somebody do something that felt concerning, threatening, unsafe? And let yourself, instead of just immediately talking yourself out of you shouldn't be scared, let yourself just notice that you were already too late. You shouldn't be scared. Is it true? No, because you were. It's okay. And if you had the wisest, kindest, most compassionate voice within, which we all have access to, we just don't remember it when we're busy being afraid, get to see what that one might say back, but not yet. So, I am afraid of this. This is a threat. You can give it greater detail. See what else the word is. He shouldn't have said that to me. I'm losing her. This moment is too empty. I'm incredibly lonely. I won't get my needs met. I can't stand this moment. I don't know what to do if I'm not eating. I feel anxious. I feel anxious. Just see if you can identify what has caused that disturbance, what has been the trigger for that anxiety, what images or pictures or meaning came to mind, what happened in the past that you're remembering, what just happened just now. What's a repetitive place again that here we come again? Often people feel like they get the urge to eat when there's that space of nighttime, empty, open, unscheduled hours. And then they find themselves, even though they promised never to eat again, here comes eating because it's like the busyness of life has slowed down. And now this wide open space, the vastness of being a part of reality, which is so mysterious, opens up to you again. And your thoughts about it are it's too frightening, it's too big, I'm lonely, I'm not doing it right. And the self-criticism comes in, failures and despair. So then you know like what is actually bothering you, the stories running in your mind that are actually bothering you. It's so good to write them down. Here's what I'm deeply, deeply disturbed by. Just write down what those are. Let yourself go ahead and write them all down. I once heard about somebody who read the book Loving What Is and went, this is about those terrible, horrible stories or anything that I've ever understood to be a bad thing in the world. And they set out to writing everything down, and there was about 300. It just made me chuckle. I was so overwhelmed with 5 stories. I just wanted to find one and begin to question it. Just find one, which is okay too. Can do that too. It's okay. Don't have to have the full list. You don't have to know everything. It might even change, but just to find, identify what's wrong with this moment. What is contained in it, especially in the mind, that I'm remembering? What song am I hearing? What mystery is running? Because then I can begin inquiry, sincere inquiry. Is it true? Is it the absolute truth? I can't handle this empty moment at night by myself. Is that true? It's too empty. Can you absolutely be sure? What happens when you think that thought? These emotions are too uncomfortable. I have to shut them down. I have to change the channel by eating. I have to sweeten up this moment with some sugar. I'll go crazy unless I eat something because it's so vast and disturbing. Is that true? Notice what happens when you think it. Sometimes it is a split second. The trigger is so fast, on the heels of the trigger is the urge to eat. You don't even catch it. But just to wonder, who would you be without the story? Who would I be without my story of how feelings or that thing that I'm scared of? Now, there's some powerful things that many people with eating issues seem to be afraid of. Not being thin enough, not being healthy enough, not being connected to other people, afraid of being hurt or hurting other people, not being pleasing to other people, not being nice or kind enough, that it's wrong to be angry. Some of these things are so common, and I found them in myself, and I've heard them from working with so many people in this eating stuff, that it's helpful to know that. And we can just begin to jump in and question those thoughts, question them. What happens when I believe it? Who would you be without that story? Who would you be without that terrified story, that frightened story? That story of fear, that story of emptiness, that I'm powerless over this experience. Who would I be if I wasn't able to have that thought in the moment? Who would I be without that thought? How do we answer that question? What an amazing question. But even just to consider it, to open up to that question, to wonder about it. Who would I be without my story? It is not too disturbing, turned around. It's not too overwhelming. It is not too frightening. I don't need to shut this down. It's not too empty. It's not too vast. So my thinking is all those things. I'm just feeling my thoughts. I'm feeling what my thoughts are telling me. And I panic, and then I panic eat, or I get aggressive, or I feel vengeful, or I feel resentful. And that gets up tied with eating. Eating temporarily works, but of course, we feel incredible pain afterwards, physical pain, emotional pain, psychic pain. Don't really want to do that. So, who would we be without our story? Who would we be without that story? And it's amazing because with these specific concepts questioned, we can actually arrive at an answer, arrive at some peace, an open mind, the don't know mind. The don't know mind is so much more supportive than the I know mind, and less requirement for compulsive eating or compulsive anything. Just not necessary to whatever compulsion is, speedy movement, panicked movement to shut something down. It's just not required. So, love this kind of inquiry. So helpful to do it. Doesn't get so cosmic, a little more real, a little more easy to follow and understand when we do it in a group or one to one. So, inquiry membership circle is starting soon. Finally, an inquiry circle for people to meet online and do the work on eating issues. Listen to other people, do eating work on eating issues, body image issues, types of food issues, and finding peace together. So that's starting soon, starting in April 2021, and it'll be ongoing. So whenever you're listening to this video, maybe it'll still be happening. You can come join us in the Eating Peace Circle. Okay, lots of love, everybody. Peace is available for all of us, any one of us, even those of us who've just had incredible binged our heads off. Peace is available. Lots of love.